Welcome back to another episode of Eater's Digest. With me, as always, is media analyst Willow, who's suddenly feeling what it's like to become an influencer. Willow, people are noticing you. People are asking about you in the comments. What's your story? How do you feel about all this?
It's a little overwhelming. I'm not going to lie. I'm certainly not an influencer. I don't really have much of a social media presence. People have been asking. They can find me on Instagram at Willow Disgrace. You can come and hang out. I don't really post a lot of interesting stuff, but I might try to now. So if you come hang out, maybe that will encourage me a little bit.
And it's my understanding that you've received your first hate comment as well.
Yes, honestly, that was, I think, maybe the most validating thing so far. You know, if someone's got something bad to say, then I think that's almost more impactful, right?
Right. Well, welcome to the club. Lead us into the news, please.
The Cavendish banana, the world's most commonly consumed fruit, is on track to becoming endangered due to a new strain of Fusarium oxysporum, a fungal disease that has already caused severe damage to banana crops worldwide. Scientists are working to better understand this new strain and aim to genetically alter the fruit to resist it. But without swift intervention, the Cavendish could potentially face extinction.
I assume that you already understand that the Cavendish banana, the banana that we all know and love as like banana, isn't the definitive banana, or at least has not historically been forever, right?
Yes, up until the 1950s, the most commonly consumed banana worldwide was the Gros Michel banana. That's actually what the artificial banana flavoring is based on. So if you've ever eaten like a banana piece of Laffy Taffy and been like, this doesn't taste anything like a banana, it does. It's just more of a banana that like your grandparents would have grown up eating.
I also think bananas are uniquely misunderstood. A user named Vinyl Holdup on my Discord server just shared a photo this morning of the little stickers that come on his Dole bananas, and they are currently celebrating 125 years of bananas, and it shows that on the stickers with phrases like celebrate the journey and celebrate the people. But I feel like people who understand the history of bananas wouldn't find the history or the people, or at least the way that they've been treated, as something worth celebrating. So I definitely think that people don't understand the history of bananas. I feel like that's true with most fruits and vegetables. I feel like if you look at old like Renaissance paintings of watermelons, they'll have these big swirls in the cross sections of them. That's just how they used to look. And you can kind of see a little hint of that if you cut open a watermelon now, but it's not as pronounced. So you look at old paintings of watermelons and you think, what the heck is that? Why does it look like that? But I also feel like our generation is living through so many massive shifts and historic moments that we will be the worst old people of all time, leaving Facebook posts that are like, comment amen if you remember what these are. And it's like a banana.
That's so funny. I am curious to see, you know, God forbid this does go poorly and we lose our precious Cavendish banana. Scientists are working on trying to develop like hybrids of other bananas that will be more disease resistant. Because the Cavendish is one of the most disease resistant bananas. That's why we've been able to produce so much of it. But I wonder, you know, what the next hot new banana will be that we'll be complaining to our grandchildren about.
Yeah. Only time will tell. That's why we stay on the pulse of the news.
Oh, yes, absolutely. A bankruptcy filing shows Tupperware losing revenue and relevancy. Tupperware is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy amid declining sales and increased competition, struggling to adapt to consumer preferences. The company plans to restructure and explore potential buyers while addressing over $500 million in debt. Despite its iconic status, Tupperware's reliance on traditional sales methods has heavily contributed to their financial difficulties.
It is hard to imagine the target demographic for Tupperware now. I know my mom was a Tupperware party woman back in the day, and she's, I think, more likely to get excited by a plastic container on Amazon by the way of TikTok. I think that price-conscious people want cheap, disposable plastic, like the kind that you might find in like a meal prep container also on Amazon. I think that the like crunchy granola eaters would want sustainable, non-toxic, non-plastic glass container. And so the crowd who wants reusable plastic containers, I assume, is small to begin with. And then a big portion of that group doesn't even know that Tupperware, like Kleenex or Velcro, is a brand and not just a product category.
Yeah, the genericization of the phrase Tupperware, I think, has been one of, honestly, the biggest contributing factors to this. In addition to their whole lack of internet presence up until the last few years. It's interesting that you mentioned Amazon because Amazon in particular, Tupperware was not on until 2002. And so for the last many years, you can go on Amazon, search for Tupperware, and it's going to bring you Rubbermaid containers, quart containers, meal prep containers, glass containers, everything but actual Tupperware. And, I think that's a big part of it. People don't even know that Tupperware is one specific thing.
That's true. Although if I was the CEO of Tupperware, I would completely write that off as a problem that Amazon has, because when I do a Google search for Philips Hue light bulb, I'm sure the top 50 results are going to be all caps Eufy or Magunga brand, very bright, dimmable, CRI 3600 RGB light. Product names mean nothing on Amazon anymore. And so if you're struggling with the type of problem that Tupperware is, I think working with a company like Amazon is only going to make that worse.
That is true. And to be honest, being online doesn't appear to have even helped them that much. In the last few years, they have opened their own e-commerce website, started selling through Amazon and through Target as well. And to this day, nearly 90% of their sales still come through direct sales agents.
My initial reaction to this whole story is that ReadyTainer, the brand behind those big deli containers, has the opportunity to take their place, but they won't. My forecast is that they absolutely will not. They only sell on Amazon. So people who hate Amazon, a lot of people that I know try to buy ReadyTainer products and can't because they only sell on Amazon. And then they also have problems with fakers selling fake ReadyTainers, because anybody can sell on Amazon. It doesn't necessarily have to be from the manufacturer. Their website is just comically outdated, like the old 1990s Space Jam website. And in the end, I think that, or at least I worry that some yuppie DTC brand with a name like Deli, spelled Delly, will win this race and take over.
Oh, I hate that idea so much, but you just might be right. Chipotle's new collaborative robots might just give you bigger portions. Chipotle has introduced new robotic appliances at select trial locations, including one designed to automate the preparation of guacamole and another to enhance portion control. These innovations aim to streamline operations, ensuring consistency and efficiency in serving customers. The company also believes that such technology will not only improve food quality, but also address labor challenges in the restaurant industry.
I know that this will be seen as a really big win for the people who were complaining about Chipotle portion sizes. So it's a timely announcement for people to feel like big dub for the buyers. And I think this is going to become a little bit of a weird conversation, because I think it was the Unabomber who said that anytime we wish to gain convenience, we have to lose some amount of freedom. If you want to have AC or internet, the easy solution is to be on the grid. So you give up a small amount of freedom for a small amount of convenience. If you want a device in your pocket that can do every task that you've ever imagined, you are expected to be tracked and profiled and have your data stolen or sold. This is not a controversial idea anymore. I think we all kind of understand it and accept it. I don't want it to be a conversation about whether that's right or wrong or true or false. I don't want to debate the conceit's veracity, but I feel like the business version of this is that if you wish to gain standardization, you need to lose some amount of humanity. When you manage someone, you have to choose how much you're going to let them, the people that you manage, think for themselves, make mistakes, make judgment calls, versus telling them exactly what to do. And I don't really have employees at Barkley. That's my small business that I can relate to in some way, but my business is not good at scaling. 3 people have emailed me this week now that the new aprons have launched and people are buying them internationally because the shipping is a little significantly cheaper. 3 people have emailed me about value added tax and customs fees and all sorts of things that I didn't know, and I don't have systems in place to react to that. Breakages and missing packages, those are things that are handled by having just conversations one-to-one with this person. But you compare that to my internet service provider, where an automated robot spends 5 minutes sending me to the right overseas representative with a preloaded decision tree to help them deal with my problem. So in the same way that you have the convenience versus freedom problem, everyone kind of has their own preference regarding standardization versus humanity. And we're seeing less and less of that humanity with things like self-checkout lines and Chipotle robots.
The machinery, like you said, about sort of removing the humanity aspect of it, the automated line machine will only be used for online orders specifically. So people coming into the restaurant will never see the machinery. It will be out back. Nobody has to watch a robot hand scoop up their chicken. and nobody has to see that sort of removed part of it, and it will just help facilitate online orders.
It's bizarre to imagine we're all using our phones to hire a private driver for our burritos who drive to the restaurant, pick up the item from a back area where there's like a secret robot that nobody sees making the order. It's just like so detached from what hospitality and eating used to be. And
my biggest question in this whole thing is why were measuring cups never a part of this process? These huge expensive machinery. It's an entire like deli line set up, an automated deli line set up. And, that must be a $7,000 piece of equipment. And you could just go down to TJ Maxx and buy a set of measuring cups. Maybe that would fix all your problems.
Thank you for letting me go through that entire monologue before immediately outdoing me with like, oh yeah, but did you consider that the humans could just use measuring cups? I did not even think about that. So,
well, your monologue was wonderful. I do think, quoting the Unabomber right after last week, somebody called me a communist. We might be getting a little controversial here.
Well, I didn't even Google if that's the person who said it, so I'm probably wrong, and I'm hoping it is, but it's probably some other psycho who did some other crazy stuff, and it'll be even worse somehow.
Hooray!
Yeah.
All right. This week for products coming up, we have the KitchenAid Design Series Evergreen Stand Mixer, Bagel and Cream Cheese Coffee Mate Creamer, and Fukushima Peaches.
Bagel and cream cheese flavored coffee creamer sounds disgusting. I don't even want to talk about that one because it's just like, creamer with a little artificial tang added to it, and maybe...
I think it might be good. I hate to say it. I know that sounds horrible. But I looked up, there's tasting notes for it online, and it says cream cheese, sweetened condensed milk, with a hint of bagel. And I think because it's a sweetened product, that it might just taste like cheesecake.
Tell me, what is a Fukushima peach?
So are you familiar with sort of the Japanese, like, expensive fruit culture a little bit? So it's kind of an extension of that. These are actually being sold in the UK. These are not available anywhere else. They're going through a luxury department store in the UK called Harrods. And these are a set of 3 peaches from Fukushima that are about 80 pounds, around 104 USD for 3 peaches. They are supposedly exceptional peaches, some of the best that you can get your hands on. They are not radioactive peaches. They are far from that area. But they are supposedly some of the best peaches that you can get your hands on.
Right. That was going to be my only note, is they seem to be fighting an uphill branding battle where it would be like Chernobyl apples. But I've been to Harrods once, and I do think the clientele will buy something like that. What I do want to talk about is this KitchenAid mixer, because I saw it. It looks fantastic. I love the colors. I love wood finishes. I would absolutely buy this product. I just found out about it. Then I found out it's really expensive and thought, okay, maybe I probably won't buy this. And then I found out that the wooden mixing bowl is actually like terrible. And this is just one of those products that's designed to be left out and marveled at, and it's not really for people who want to use it a whole lot. The wood is likely to warp or crack. You have to hand wash it, dry it immediately and thoroughly, and I think there's a little bit of safety concerns with it, but I think the general consensus seems like it's more for people who want to look at it than use it.
I would have to agree with you there. While I do think it is beautiful, and my initial gut reaction was like, oh, I kind of want that. I do think that the wooden bowl is kind of impractical. Although if you are somebody that wants a brand new KitchenAid, you are probably somebody that has maybe owned an older model or is just willing to, pay that large sum of money for this appliance. And I think most people in that position can probably either have or afford to buy an extra metal bowl to use for it. And then the wooden piece just becomes a display piece, which I do think is nice if it's something that's going to live on your counter all the time.
I do like how your cat heard the phrase lives on the counter and showed up like, hey, what's up? Do you like me walking on your surfaces? That's what I do best. Thank you as always for your time, your effort, your research. I hope to one day be good enough at expressing my takes in a way that doesn't make you say I would have to agree in a regrettable way. And,
No.
I hope to get to a point where you say, you know what? I like to agree.
I hope I get to a point where I have to agree isn't just my default response, because I don't know how to speak on camera yet.
And I think you'll get to a point where you naturally transition that thought into, and what's your default response to hearing this information? Like and comment down below, because you're on track to becoming a full-fledged influencer.
Yeah, we'll see.
See you all next week. Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.
Promotional consideration for Eater's Digest is provided by Barkley. Visit dinnerwithbarkley.com to shop for the all-new redesigned Barkley apron. They've got 3 big pockets, a split leg for flexibility, a towel loop, and the long sturdy straps that you would find in a $100 apron from a brand like Headley & Bennett, but at half the price. Take $5 off your order with code DIGEST at dinnerwithbarkley.com.